Jason Rzucidlo reporting for AmericaJR.com, and I'm being joined by Lefty Tsironis, Director of Experiential Marketing and Communications at the LA Auto Show and AutoMobility LA. First, let's begin by talking about the new AutoMobility LA. How will it be different from press days in the past?
Well, first of all, Jason, this year is a really big year for us because what we've done with the LA Auto Show is we've taken its press and trade days, which of course have been, exclusively for the media and of course for automotive industry professionals, and broadened it a bit and brought in other people within the automotive ecosystem. And so we thought we needed to make this more of a trade show because there's just so many components now that auto tech has become ever so amalgamated. So we took Connected Car Expo and Press and Trade Days, brought them together to make one mega event. We call that AutoMobility LA. So that will now become the name and the brand that represents what we used to call Press and Trade Days and Connected Car Expo, while LA Auto Show still remains the name for the public event that follows.
Okay. Now, why do you think now is the time to do this? The LA Auto Show has been going on over 100 years.
Right. So, 108, 109 years now, we've been doing LA Auto Show. LA Auto Show has been taking place. It started as a public show, and eventually it evolved to where there was a need for having a press preview. We call those, media preview, press days, whatnot. So now's the time because ever since 2012, when technology was really making its imprint across, changing the way cars are being made, being sold, being serviced and whatnot, it just evolved the entire industry, revolutionized the entire industry, and our team has been one of the first sort of entities to put together a area within the show. We called it the Advanced Tech Showcase back in 2012, and then introduced Connected Car Expo in 2013, where we started bringing in all the new players with all the established players to talk about the future of automotive, the future of mobility, and that kind of worked over the next few years to grow exponentially and double year after year. And it just reached that point where we didn't need to create a church and state environment between the auto tech and the traditional sort of automotive industry. We thought, just because it's happening all over, this all needs to come together. And AutoMobility LA offers that opportunity for the automotive industry and what we call the new automotive industry to have a platform to unveil new products, new services, make significant announcements, and allow the industry to network and collaborate. And we've just been seeing that happening on stage, off stage, during those conversations with executives like the co-founder of Lyft and the president of GM last year, making a really important announcement, huge investment. We've been doing a lot of different cool things, like starting up the top 10 automotive startups. It's a whole contest that we started last year. It'll be the second year that we're doing it, where our advisory board, a bunch of smart people get together, and they look at all the entries from the startup community as it relates to automotive, and they evaluate and put a short list together to really recognize some of the top companies in a sea of burgeoning automotive industry, what's called entrepreneurs. And so this year, we're doing it for the second year in a row. It's going to be really cool, exciting to see what these innovators are doing. We've been doing a live mentoring session with Bill Tai, who's a huge venture capitalist from Silicon Valley, and then we're going to signal out the top 3, and then one of those startups is going to get to go pitch Richard Branson over in Necker Island. So we're really kind of plugging, new automotive industry players into the mix of a global automotive, trade show, and it's kind of cool to see both the startups and the established players making news in the same space.
All right, very good. Now, how many concept cars and new production models will be on display this year?
Well, on display, you're going to have typically past few shows. The past several shows actually have had nearly 1,000 vehicles on the exhibit floor. Making their World North American or Auto Show premiere this year will be nearly 60 vehicles. Several of them will be concept vehicles, which we're really excited about. And at this point in time, we can't really identify which ones are going to be, everyone that's bringing a concept. But I know one we're hosting a press conference will be Acura, and another one will be Subaru this year, which they're going to be pointing to some really intriguing concepts.
I understand that Alfa Romeo could be bringing an SUV this year.
I know really long time ago they had some sort of SUV decades ago, and so this will be the first time they're introducing an SUV in their reintroduction here in North America. And so
Now, LA has traditionally had a lot of alternative energy vehicles like electrics and hydrogen. Can we expect to see more of those?
so you're seeing hybrid and electric and all fuel options across every brand, across several brands and model types.
Okay. Now, I know that Karma Automotive is going to be building their electric cars out in Moreno Valley. Any chance of them having a display at the auto show?
At this time, Karma doesn't have a display at the show. I know that our show floor is really full. We have every square foot leased, and it's been, always a challenge to try to fit in as much as we can. I know Karma will be attending and is registered to attend the show, as are all the other leading automakers from all over the world.
The question I have is, how will press days, which are now known as AutoMobility LA, be different from the public days, the LA Auto Show?
It's a really good question. And so what you see unveiled at AutoMobility LA ends up being seen at LA Auto Show. Not necessarily everything. For example, industry media professionals that attend AutoMobility LA will be able to explore thousands of square feet of additional exhibits in our all-new technology pavilion that we've been building in front of the convention center. You have established players like Hyundai and Ford showing smart mobility solutions, and you also have newcomers like security companies and other entrepreneurs, for example, like Ycryption or RightCell, and they're going to be showcasing what their new innovations are around automotive. So that sort of future of the industry and business of the industry phenomenon, you're only going to see during what was formerly known as Press and Trade Days inside the Technology Pavilion. In addition to that, there's going to be a conference that this is an award-winning conference that we've been producing for to be our fourth year. So the conference itself has keynotes including Mark Fields, BK from Intel, you have Admiral Warrior from NextEV, and you have G. Rogers from Local Motors, and they're all delivering really powerful addresses about the future of mobility and automotive. And then you have several panels that have experts ranging from AI to VR and how that's being integrated and how manufacturing is changing, and even looking into the future as to what transportation will be like in the year 2050. So all these sort of discussions are happening over at the Technology Pavilion, and we have CNET Roadshow by CNET this year, who's emceeing the whole thing. And so their editors will be up there, and they're going to be moderating a lot of these really interesting panels around the future of mobility. You can't see that during the LA Auto Show. And so that's where it comes into play that we integrated our Connected Car Expo elements, as well as our Press and Trade Days, to create an experience that's educational and that's, of course, a celebration and newsworthy sort of opportunity for companies to come and unveil their products and services over the course of 4 days. That you can't see during public days. But the one thing that will get unveiled this year that's really interesting is Go, which is a whole destination that's dedicated to reimagining the way we get from point A to B. So we're incubating this sort of destination, this showcase, if you will, of nearly 20 different exhibitors in an area within our South Hall atrium. That's just right outside South Hall in the convention center. And these companies will be up for media and industry professionals to see. We're talking about like Ford showcasing their bicycle solutions. You have apps on how to buy and hail vehicles, and you have e-bikes, micro kickboards, all sorts of cool stuff that are going to be situated within this area called quote-unquote Go. And so press and trade professionals will be able to see that, and that's going to be up for public days as well for the very first time. So you have the general public, they'll be able to discover, how to get around with vehicles and without vehicles, and working with finding different solutions that'll get them from A to B. That's really exciting this year.
Okay, and in addition, there's going to be test drives as well?
Yeah. There's going to be, so we're going to be doing AutoMobility LA test drives, just for, of course, press and trade professionals, to experience the latest models, and that's more of a curated, limited ride and drive experience. And then, of course, when AutoMobility LA ends, we're going to have nearly 100 vehicles that the general public can test drive around the convention center. So that's really cool.
Okay, very good. Now, I'm hearing from my contacts in Detroit that the North American Car and Truck of the Year finalist could be revealed in LA. Is that something you've heard of?
Yeah, I mean, that's on the schedule right now. So MPG, Motor Press Guild, is going to be making an announcement during a breakfast on Tuesday morning before Mark Fields gets up on stage. And then the team from North American Car Truck, they're going to be making an announcement of their finalists as well.
Can we expect appearances by celebrities like Jay Leno, Jerry Seinfeld, people like that?
I mean, that's been kind of the norm here. We're in LA, we're in Hollywood. We always have people hitting us up, affluent people, government officials, obviously TV and film stars. So no one really lets us know way in advance. It's usually more of a day or an hour before, hey, Lefty Mike or Alexis, so-and-so's here. Can you please, show them around? And then sometimes automakers and other exhibitors will have some sort of opportunity to host someone, and they keep it really under wraps until about a few days before, and then that's when we find out. But it's to be expected.
All right, very good. Now, just to confirm, will the show be open on Thanksgiving Day as in the past?
Oh, absolutely. And also this year we have guided tours by automotive journalists, and that's happening. You can only buy those via pre-sale on our website, laAutoShow.com/tickets. And those are really cool. We introduced them last year, and they're guided tours. You get to go around the whole show floor, get a really great sort of experience before the crowds get in. But there's a limited amount of spots for that. So I highly encourage that you go on there early and book that. And we also have an early bird ticket for people that don't like to be there with all the crowds, because this is, again, one of the biggest events in the city. So we made sure to have an early bird ticket so you can come in with a lot fewer people and get a morning sort of look at the show. And there's lots of really great promotions this year. I would encourage you to go to laAutoShow.com. That's where we're going to have all of our celebrity appearances as we find out about them, like certain basketball players, soccer players, that are going to be going to the various booths like they do every year, as well as ticket offers, incentives, and anyone that's looking to come to the show can also go and get a buy one, get one free at one of the Southern California, Greater Los Angeles new car dealers. They go to our website again, laAutoShow.com, to find out more information about that.
Okay, thanks so much. A lot of great information. Look forward to seeing you at the show.
Likewise. Thanks so much. Come on down.
Copyright 2016, AmericaJR.com, Los Angeles, California.